So I have now been doing the monk mode for my first week. It's been a total of 8 days, and I thought I'd sit down and talk a bit about what I've learned so far. I've obviously done this in the past, but it's always something new to learn. So I'm basically just going to give the 3 things that I've learned this week and I've thought about, which is really important to have a successful monk mode. So the first one is a very basic one and a very obvious one, but it's just limiting social media use because it will help you to get deeper into your work. And not only social media, it's also all forms of entertainment and all sources of unnecessary information. So that could be reading the news, staying updated to everything that's happening in the world. Not that that's bad things, but the more information you feed yourself with, it will become overwhelming for you. So even though you might think it's not going to affect your work, it probably is. Because if the only thing you have to think about throughout your days is your work and the issues that you have, then it's more likely you're going to solve them quicker because you process them over a longer amount of time. So that's number one. Number two is, at least for me, something that I feel is very important in a monk mode, and that's always prioritizing working out every day. Staying sane and keeping your emotions under control and keeping your emotions in a stable state is essential to not quit. So one of the biggest things that can make you quit this period of monk mode is if you get really emotional about it and you feel really bad, and at some point you're gonna convince yourself that this is not for you, you're not built for this, and then you're gonna quit. So by staying happy and staying sane and having your emotions under control, you will probably not quit and you will have way more progress. You will also be more productive, you'll feel better, you'll do better work. So working out is a top priority every day. Get away from your desk, go to the gym, go for a run, get out in the nature, do something, and just take some time by yourself and do some physical activities. And number 3 is starting your day the evening before. So this is something that a lot of people talk about. It's really something that's super valuable to increasing your productivity and getting to your goals quicker. And this is one thing that I found is really great and allows me to not have to think so much after I wake up because I already know the things that I need to do. So I have a small journal that I always write. First and foremost, I write what I did for that day and I evaluate my day. I see what I did to get closer to my goals and what kind of projects and tasks I was working on. And then I also write down my goals for the next day, what I will prioritize and what I need to get done, and I kind of reflect on what I'm actually doing on a day-to-day basis, just to keep in check with myself and make sure that I'm doing the tasks that are necessary to actually grow and scale my business, and not only to maintain and just do what clients request you to do, and etc. So really important to get yourself a tiny journal and just put down, just spend like 10-15 minutes every evening and do that, and you will have way more progress. At least that's what I've been having after starting doing that. And the last one is kind of a bonus one, and that is invest in a really good chair and good equipment. So one thing that can really make it super hard is having an uncomfortable chair or not a good enough computer that's lagging and you can't really do, your work is not that efficient because of your tools. Like, that's not the ideal situation. The ideal is that you have all the tools necessary to not having to think about any problems or friction elements that gets it harder for you to do your work. So make sure you, if you can, invest in tools. And once you have those tools, you will probably earn that money back pretty quickly if you're doing a monk mode for a long amount of time. Invest in some really good tools. And the last bonus one that I wanted to add in here, which is also kind of obvious since we're talking about a monk mode, but that is getting away from noise and distractions. if you're going to do this monk mode kind of thing, it's going to be super hard to do it if you live in a city where there's a lot of noise and parties and stuff going on, and you have friends and invites to social events, etc. It's going to be way harder for you to stay focused. So for me, I'm now staying far away from any city. I'm far into the nature in the house where I grew up. It's about 25 minutes just to get to the city from here, and it's a pretty small city. It's nothing going on. Everything around here is super boring, but that just gives me at least less opportunities to do fun stuff. So I don't even need to have the internal discussion with myself, or if I should do this or if I should do that. Like, there is no other option than doing work and working out and doing that kind of stuff. So that was the 3 tips for this week. I'll probably do the same next week. So if you're interested in following along, make sure you subscribe, and let me know in the comments if there's anything, any questions, anything that you would like to know.